ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
Why does it look like that? Why is it all scrolls?
I don't know. Maybe this
The same.
the Chrome is a with Microsoft Edge browser. It's okay, we can download Chrome.
अहं हि पृष्टो रयमानो भवद्भिर् अचक्ष आत्मावगमोऽत्र यावान् नभा पतन्ते आत्मसमं पतत्रिणास् तथा समं विष्णु गतिं विपश्चित। Synonyms together. Aham, my humble self. Certainly, he certainly. Prishta, asked by you. Aryamana, as powerful as sun. Bhavadbhi, by you. Achakshe, may describe. Atma Avgama, as far as my knowledge is concerned. Atra, herein. Yavan, so far. Nabha, sky. Patanti, fly. Atmasvam, as far as it can. Tatrina, the birds. Tatha, thus. Samam, similarly. Vishnu Gatim, knowledge of Vishnu. Vipaschitaha, even though learned. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: O Rishis, who are as powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the birds fly in the sky as far as their capacity allows, so do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows. Purport: the Supreme Absolute Truth is unlimited. No living being can know about the unlimited by his limited capacity. The Lord is impersonal, personal, and localized. By his impersonal feature, he is all pervading Brahman. By his localized feature, he is present in everyone's heart as the Supreme Soul. And by his ultimate personal feature, he is the object of transcendental loving service by his fortunate associates, the pure devotees. The pastimes of the Lord in different features can only be estimated partly by the great learned devotees. So Srila Sutta Goswami has rightly taken his position in describing the pastimes of the Lord as far as he has realized. Factually, only the Lord himself can describe himself, and his learned devotee can also can describe him as far as the Lord gives him the power of description. Yeah. So now, who is speaking to whom in this verse?
Sutta.
Sutta Goswami.
Sages of Navigation.
Yeah. So Sutta Goswami is telling to the rishis that like I shall describe the transcendental pastime as far as his knowledge is concerned. Like he is taking that position that uh, like one can only describe about the Lord according to one's capacity, right? So I'm feeling like, how can I speak if Sutta Goswami is feeling like this? So I am not even a speck of his toenails to speak about the Lord. But as like Prabhupada is mentioning in purport, by his blessings we can try to understand according to our capacity. So here Prabhupada is explaining that we can realize the Lord in three forms, right? Impersonal, personal, and localized. So if like that's however we approach. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says that however you approach me, what's that verse? Ye yathamam prapadyante, right? So that's very famous verse. So however we want to approach the Lord, Lord give us realization accordingly. If someone wants to approach him in his impersonal feature, which is Brahman realization, Lords reveal to them accordingly. So initially, like when I factually don't understand the difference, like how a person can, like whenever we listen to this example that the goal is same, the paths are different, right? So the goal is ultimately serving Krishna. So I was thinking like how there are different realizations, like how people feels that Lord is light, right? And how some people just meditate on the Paramatma, and like why only iskcon just saying that Krishna is supreme. So why the goal is also different. So then slowly, by reading Srila Prabhupada books and by hearing from the acharyas, from the different senior Vaishnavas, we understand the difference between like how we wanted to approach the Lord, right? So there are um, the difference in understanding. If someone just feel that the Lord is light, the Lord gives him that realization. If someone understand that Lord is Paramatma, Lord gives him that realization. And if the pure devotees, they wanted to give their loving service to the Lord, they wanted to have that exchange with the Lord. So Lord gives like reciprocate with them accordingly. Yeah. So but one thing here is like example which is mentioned by Sutta Goswami is that as the birds fly in the sky, so there are different birds who have different capacity, who have different speed, that how they fly in the sky. Um, do you know which is the like which bird fly the highest?
Eagle.
Huh? Geese? I don't know. I'm just asking. But we have seen like different birds, like some fly very lower, some fly very higher, and some fly like very with very high speed, like the small and the fast. So uh like I just remember one story. There was a um like uh initial days, like right, people have so much to eat, so the kids even used to throw this cashews and raisins and everything, like they eat some and they just throw some. And there were like a group of crows, and they used to eat all of it. So there was one crow who used to eat a lot, and he gets too much fat. So they call him like by some name, uh, like leader of the group. They made him leader of the group because he was like so build muscles, fat basically. So they thought like he's our leader, he's the more strong person in our group. So but once there was two swans were flying, and he saw like what is this, like white birds. So the others, they told him that, oh, why don't you just fly and bring them down and show them that you are better than them. And he just like started that, okay, let me show them. And as soon as he started flying, he was not able to even fly a little. So what to speak of like flying high and getting the swans. So the point here I am telling is like when we are giving the message, when we are even repeating the message, right? So I'm just like talking about myself that I am not there yet, right? So the pure devotees, when they speak, oh, you should chant, you should um control your senses, right? So first of all, we can repeat their words, but without realization, if we are saying that also, it has no effect, right? And secondly, we when we are giving the message also, we are repeating the message also of Bhagavad Gita, though the message is through parampara, right? But we need to understand what is the time, place, circumstance, right? So it should not uh, like someone is born and we are attending a birth ceremony or the birthday party, and there we are talking the message about like you're not this soul, you're not this body, and soon everything is going to finish and you should remember Krishna, right? So we should see the time, place, circumstance, like what we are speaking, where we are speaking, so we should be mindful. uh, um, and so here, through the example of Sutta Goswami, Prabhupada is mentioning that Sutta Goswami has rightly taken his position in describing the pastimes, right? As far as he has realized. So, it's from this I am taking the lesson that, we should be only speaking what we have realized. We cannot like tell anything beyond our capacity. Um, yeah. Anything anyone would like to add in this?
Um, it's true to speak beyond our.
I think this laptop is.
It does, okay, can everybody hear me?
Can everyone hear Nanda Prabhu on Zoom?
You can hear, okay.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, one thing is that we do. We do talk about topics that we haven't realized yet because we want to let people know, for example, what the goal is.
Yeah.
So we may describe to them what prema is, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yes.
So
that's true.
there is that factor of saying like, well, okay, when people come to the temple, what do we tell them? You're not your body, you gotta chant Hare Krishna. We may not have realized we're not our body, but we're still, it's our duty to tell it to people.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, in some sense, it doesn't have the same effect if somebody has come to that point of realization, then what they say can much more strongly convince others. But at least even still theoretically, we could say theoretically, we're telling you you're not your body. We're not going to say that, but we're going to say the Bhagavad Gita teaches us we're not our body, the body's temporary, this, that, the other. So we can at least get people started. And then up to the point of our realization, because also Prabhupada says here in the last line, as far as the Lord gives him the power of description, right? So yes, if you have gotten to a certain stage and you have realization, it's very powerful. But if Krishna sees you're just trying to tell people, look, there's God, we got to love God, we got to realize we're not our body, Krishna will give us the power to describe that when we're sincerely trying to bring people to Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Yes. And again, if we are not adding anything of our own because we have not realized yet,
Yeah.
so we are that's why we always keep that consciousness that we are repeating the message. We are just a messenger. So that is not actually, that at least that part is not theoretical. Like, okay, I'm the puppet, I'm just repeating the words. It we should actually mean it, that I am just repeating the words. So whenever I read any translations, so I always wondered that if Prabhupada have not given the purport, like there is, even after reading the purport also, there are many things which we don't understand. But without purport, it's really hard. It's really hard to even understand that and forget about, explaining it to anyone else. So once we were visiting one of our friends, and uh, they have a conversation with someone else, because they are our close friends, and when people say something about our philosophy, like so they say it's different because nothing is written exactly in Bhagavad Gita, which we explain. So that's what they were asking us. Like, we were having a conversation, and Himangari Prabhu asked, like, okay, what is the difference? What you have observed? Tell me. So they have shown, like, there is a one Bhagavad Gita by Gita Press, right? Gorakhpur Gita Press. Yeah. So it has verses like Sanskrit and just the translation. So they said it's not written in Bhagavad Gita about the demigods, which like Bhagavad Gita as it is mentioning about the demigods. Like, there is no word as demigods. So it's a new edition, new version of Bhagavad Gita. So Mangari said, "Is it really? Can you show me?" So they bring that Gorakhpur, Gita Press Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Himangari Prabhu, like, take that verse out where it is mentioned about the demigod worship. So in Gita Press Bhagavad Gita, in translation, it of course it's in Hindi. So it says Devi Devata, and same like Hindi version of Bhagavad Gita as it is also, it says Devi Devata. So Himangari said, see, it is saying Devi Devata, it's not saying Bhagwan, right? So where Krishna is saying, I am, what is the verse Krishna says? Krishna is to Bhagwan Swayam, right? So we say Krishna is the Bhagwan. We don't say Krishna is the Devi, Krishna is the Devata. But for others, we use the word Devata. So, like for us, in fact, for me, that our shelter is Prabhupada's purport. So that's how we are repeating his message, like what knowledge he has given to us, his realization he has given to us, and we are repeating in that parampara, right? So let's move on to the next verse.
Did they convert?
No. Ekada dhanur udamya.
Are we on?
Maybe we can read together. Ekada dhanurudamya vicharan mrigayan vane mrigan anugata shanta kshudita strishto brishan jalashayam achakshana pariveshesha Dadarsham munim asinam shantam milaita lochanam. Ekada, once upon a time, Dhanu, arrows and bow, Udamya, taking firmly, Vicharan, following, Mrigayam, hunting excursion, Vane, in the forest, Mrigan, stags, Anugata, while following, Shranta, fatigued, Kshudita, hungry, Trishitah, being thirsty, Bhrisham, extremely, Jala Ashayam, reservoir of water, Achakshanaha, while searching for Pravishvesha, entering into Tam, that famous ashramam, hermitage of Shamika Rishi, Dadarsha saw, Munim the sage, Asinam seated, Shantam all silent, Milita closed, Lochanam eyes, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Once upon a time, Maharaj Parikshit, while engaged in hunting in the forest with bow and arrows, became extremely fatigued, hungry, and thirsty while following the stags. While searching for a reservoir of water, he entered the hermitage of well-known Shamika Rishi and saw the sage sitting silently with closed eyes. Purport: The Supreme Lord is so kind to his pure devotees that in proper time he calls such devotees up to him, and thus creates an auspicious circumstance for the devotee. Maharaj Parikshit was pure devotee of the Lord, and there was no reason for him to become extremely fatigued, hungry, and thirsty, because a devotee of the Lord never becomes perturbed by such bodily demands, but by the desire of the Lord. Even such a devotee can become apparently fatigued and thirsty just to create a situation favorable for his renunciation of worldly activities. One has to give up all attachments for worldly relations before one is able to go back to Godhead, and thus when a devotee is too much absorbed in worldly affairs, the Lord creates a situation to cause indifference. The Supreme Lord never forgets his pure devotees, even though he may be engaged in so-called worldly affairs. Sometimes he creates an awkward situation, and the devotee becomes obliged to renounce all worldly affairs. The devotee can understand by the signal of the Lord, but others take it to be unfavorable and frustrating. Maharaj Parikshit was to become the medium for the revelation of Srimad Bhagavatam by Lord Sri Krishna, as his grandfather Arjuna was the medium for the Bhagavad Gita. Had Arjuna not been taken up with an illusion of family affection by the will of the Lord, the Bhagavad Gita would not have been spoken by the Lord himself for the good of all concerned. Similarly, had Maharaj Parikshit not been fatigued, hungry, and thirsty at this time, Srimad Bhagavatam would not have been spoken by Srila Sukadev Goswami, the primary authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, this is a prelude to the circumstances under which Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken for the benefit of all concerned. The prelude therefore begins with the words once upon a time. So, this verse is basically starting, like we will read next, take up to the point where, like Maharaj Parikshit go to the hermitage of Shamika Rishi, and then like his son, like the snake episode, he put the snake in his neck, and then he was cursed by his son, right? So, but here is the thing which Sutta Goswami is telling, that Maharaj Parikshit is like taken that position to become the medium in or instrument in the Lord's hand, right? So like if he can bear if Lord can save him from the Brahmastra, right, within the womb, then how is it possible that he's been cursed, and he could have saved him with from the curse as well, right? So when the like Shamika Rishi came to meet, tell Parikshit Maharaj that his son has cursed him, Shamika Rishi even tell him like it's a mistake, it's not your fault, right? And it can be reversed. But Parikshit Maharaj accept the will of the Lord, and he said that he immediately renounced everything, and like inquire from him that what should a person do during the end, during the last days of his life. So that's how he become the instrument, and Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadev Goswami, and in the same way, in Bhagavad Gita, many times Prabhupada has explained that it Arjuna, bewilderment is for our own good. Whatever question Arjuna asked to Krishna, they are like he was in the battlefield, like under pressure, right? He was showing all the attachment to the family. He was showing how can I kill them? They are my family, like I will go to hell, and what will happen to their families, like that. So all those questions we also think like when we practice Krishna consciousness, we also think like, oh, I have a family. How can I leave my family? Because whenever we hear the word renunciation, the first thing come to the mind is renunciation means like leave everything and join full time. So if Arjuna have not asked those questions, we will not be able to hear Bhagavad Gita, right? So Bhagavad Gita is basically, we say, the manual of human life, like how you should like what you should do this, how to utilize this human form of life, right? So that's how Arjuna became the medium. And by looking at their example, by hearing those pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam, like Srimad Bhagavatam is full of these pastimes where all the like pure devotees of the Lord have shown their full surrender, right? So can anyone quote any pastime where we see like full surrender of the devotees to the will of the Lord? Anyone?
Amrish,
Amrish Maharaj.
the person often just surrender.
Yeah, he just surrendered. Like I am thinking of, yeah. So Vritrasura, yes, that's a Chitraketu Maharaj, right? So what did there was no mistake, right? Chitraketu Maharaj, he was like going around, and when he saw um, Mother Parvati in the lap of Lord Shiva, so he just like smiled, and he was immediately cursed by Mother Parvati. But he surrendered immediately to the situation. He doesn't say, "Oh, like I didn't do anything," and he didn't give any reason. But what we do is like if someone find any mistake in us, tell us something, we immediately try to defend ourselves, right? Oh no, I did this because of this, and this was my concern or my reasons. We immediately try to defend ourselves. But Chitraketu Maharaj, he accept the will of the Lord, right? There are like many more examples we see. It's just not coming. Anyone on Zoom would like to share any example where we see um, anyone surrender to the will of the Lord? Bali Maharaj, yes, it's a great example, right? So, Lord, it seems that Lord is being unfair, or like he took all his kingdom in just 3 steps, everything from him in 3 steps. But when Bali Maharaj he surrenders to the Lord Vaman Dev, what Lord did? When he sees the surrender by Bali Maharaj.
Well, which time? When he put his foot in his head or when he bound him with ropes or?
I mean, in the end, ultimately, Lord becomes his. Raj ki jai, Shri Bharanitai ki jai. So Lord guarded his kingdom. He become the guard of his kingdom. So it like seems very simple surrender, right? But when the situation come, we forgot all the philosophy, and it feels like, oh, why this happens to me, and how should I come out of it? But we see when we hear and read the prayers by our acharyas like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, what he speaks in his Sharanagati prayers.
Oh, you're asking a question? What
Yeah.
does he speak about?
Yeah.
Surrender.
Yeah. Yeah, he speaks about surrender, right? And he says, he tells to the Lord to make him like a dog, right? And he wanted to guard so that no one should come in. In the same way, when Prabhupada was coming in the Jaldaduta, in his Sharanagati prayer also, Prabhupada says to the Lord that make me puppet in your hand, right? like what Prabhupada says, nachao, right? Make me dance however you want. So, but like what we can learn from this is um, when we hear more and more about the surrender, when we read these examples, we at least try to follow those footsteps. We at least try to just looking at the example of our acharyas, looking at the example of all these devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, we at least give our endeavor that, my dear Lord, we want to surrender, but here is what the difficulty is, like I'm not able to surrender, right? We keep trying. When we keep trying in each and every situation, um, by the Lord's mercy, at some point of time, we'll be there. um, uh,
Like in case of Draupadi.
in case of Draupadi, right? She tries. she holds the sari. She tries and tries and tries, but in the end, Lord, she just
Even you thought her husband will say,
yeah.
people in assembly will say, when she thought she herself will say.
Yeah, that is our situation, right? We
Right.
think, we try multiple things. We see this will work, that will help. Like I was just talking to Himangari Prabhu like about the job situation, right? The job market is very down, right? So many devotees are facing so much trouble because of the jobs and everything. I um I feel like when you remember when there was layoffs in Meyer, the big layoffs, right? So it was the major layoff which I saw during that time period, and every day Prabhu was coming home and telling, oh, today these many people are laid off, and these many people, like they are just laying off in bulks, like they are cutting the crops. They're just laying off like that, the whole units or accounts and like that. So I was like little bit scared, and Himangari was like very cool, and he was just coming and telling me, and I asked him, are you not afraid or scared? And he said, ठीक है, wherever Lord wants us to go, we will go. If he wants to, you know like that was really a turning point for me, that anyways we can't do anything. If the layoff will happen, it will happen, right? If Lord doesn't wanted us to stay here, then no matter how much, to whom you are going, to whom you are asking for job to save yourself, it's not gonna happen. uh, we hear this, right? Mare Krishna Rake ke Krishna
Krishna Mare.
Rake Krishna Mare ke. So if Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. If Krishna don't want you to stay, then no matter how much money you have, how many best doctor, how many best medicines you have, you can try Ayurveda, you can try surgeries. Nothing can save you. So yeah.
We will have to come to US here. He was telling me, like in India they were telling, oh, for the interview you should prepare this, you should have this document, that document. And he was just very relaxed. He just went. In interview they didn't ask anything. In port of entry they didn't ask anything. Easily he came. I said, Krishna wanted you to come, that's why everything went very smooth. Otherwise the problems will come, difficulty will come.
So there is everyone might know that seven sar of Bhagavad Gita, which every Indian house has that. There are like 7 lines from Bhagavad Gita. It's a kind of a calendar, and every Indian house has that. And for Indians, that is the Bhagavad Gita.
Shortcut.
At first time I saw Bhagavad Gita, when I saw Bhagavad Gita as it is, oh, actually this is Bhagavad Gita. So in that sar, or what we call the crux, basically,
Sense.
yeah, essence of Bhagavad Gita, it says तू वो कर जो मैं चाहता हूँ, right? So it's in Hindi, like you do whatever I want. So it's Krishna says, you do whatever I want. Then वो होगा जो तू चाहेगा. Like then it will happen what you want, right? So basically this verse is that reminder telling us, if we do or work according to the will of the Lord, then Lord is sold to his devotees. Then he will do what you want.
In our desire.
Our desires will
Happens.
yes.
What will become the tree from the sun?
Yes. Yeah. Anything, Prabhu, you want to add? Anyone want to say anything on the Zoom? All right. So if nothing is there, I would like to end here. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindovyeva cha patitanam Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for joining on the Zoom and in person. Hare Krishna.